So a friend of mine was recently complaining to me that YouTube, he thought, had become too repetitive, and he was really sick of it. Well, it reminded me of a trick that I learned about some time ago that I'd like to share with you here today. Essentially, you're going to be able to better structure your YouTube feed, the content that you see, which will give you more control over how you consume content. So you can more effectively use the platform to study particular topics and not just default to whatever the algorithm happens to feed you. Okay, so I'm going to first show you what the trick is and what it looks like, and that way you can decide for yourself whether it's worth it to stick around for the second part of the video where I'll walk you through how to actually create this for yourself. Let's do it. Okay, so we're at YouTube here. You can see when I log in, I have one account. I only have to worry about one account, but I have multiple channels. The reason for multiple channels is not to produce content for multiple channels necessarily, although you could. The idea here is every channel has a specific theme, and all of the content that you consume within that channel you restrict to that theme. So I have, for example, here classical education is one of the things that I'm interested in. Hillsdale College, I use as the logo to represent that because that's what classical education means to me, is everything that I've learned so far from Hillsdale. Really respect that institution. Backgrounds only, I use this for backgrounds. I use it for like fireplace backgrounds. I use it for jazz music in the background, lo-fi, study music in the background, anything like that. That's the only thing I use this channel for. Sober Social is one of my old channels I used to make content for. I've since discontinued making videos, but I still have some of the videos archived, and so I just, why delete the channel? I like to keep those. I have one for French, a language that I've kicked around, maybe learning here or there, but I just haven't, I've prioritized other things so far. Spanish I have learned, and this channel I use a lot in order just to consume Spanish, just to keep my fluency up. Productivity, self-explanatory. ADU development. ADU is a real estate investment vehicle, although I could probably rename this now to something more like remodeling, alternative living, something like that, because that's really what the interest is. And so again, the idea is you have each channel has a specific theme, and then the only content that you're consuming within each of those channels is related to that theme. So this gives you a ton more control over what you're seeing every time you enter YouTube. You're not just defaulting to the algorithm, you're taking control as to what you're seeing. So let me give you an example by coming into this backgrounds only. I'll show you all of the recommended stuff is all only background stuff, right? Because that's all I've ever consumed. And so YouTube, the algorithm thinks, oh, well, this is what he's enjoyed in the past, so that's what he's most likely to enjoy in the future. And that's all I see. And I have stuff from SpongeBob. These are like, different scenery from like as if you were time traveling, lo-fi, pretty colors, all that stuff. All of that's only for backgrounds. As another example, here is my ADU development channel, which again, I could rename to probably something like alternative living, tiny house, something like that, remodeling. And that's all that I see in this. I haven't used this channel as much, so there might not be as well curated content. But the idea is now you have a choice before you go into YouTube and just default to whatever's being curated to you based on the whole mess of everything that you've ever watched. Now you have control. Each of your channels is tailored to the specific theme that you give it. And the beautiful thing is there is no limit. You can have as many channels as you want. They can be as broad or as specific as you want, and you can experiment with this. Okay, so now that you've seen the trick and the benefits of it, let's now look at how to actually make it happen. If you come to your profile picture in your YouTube account over here in the top right, and then you click settings, it'll take you to this page. You should default to the account page, and then you want to look at where it says add or manage your channels. You're going to come in here, and it'll list all of the channels that you have under your current account. There might be just the one. All you have to do, it's literally as easy as this: create a new channel. I'm going to call this one Maha Nutrition, because Make America Healthy Again is something I'm very, very excited about. I don't care at all what the handle is because I'm not planning on producing content here. I will select a picture though. You can go with one of these defaults, or if you're not already familiar with something like Unsplash or Pexels, there's a lot of other websites too, but you can look and see for just something to represent what's the theme of this channel, what kind of content you're going to be consuming there. All right, I went with this one, found it on Pexels. Create the channel. Come into it. And now check this out. This is a recipe that I discovered from Dr. Mike Hyman, who I've been leaning on the most with this whole Maha thing. I mean, I expect to continue diving into the whole world a lot more, but this is just an example of what you could do. You know, I want to learn how to make this dish. I don't know what goes into it. I mean, it looks awesome and it's supposed to be really healthy. This might not be Maha approved. I don't really know. But you get the idea, right? And then when I come back to my home screen, the more you only consume content under the umbrella of that theme, the better your feed is going to be, feeding you more and more content like this of the same nature. So by the way, one last note before signing off here. In addition to my theme specific channels where I go in order to learn about a particular topic or to, engage in a particular language that I want to learn, I also have I would call it like my personal catch-all account, and then the professional account that I upload all of my content to. My personal account, this is like my, if I don't have a specific thing in mind, I just want to watch something from the news, or I want to listen to some music or whatever that's not, it doesn't fit nicely under the umbrella of any of my theme channels. This is a catch-all where I can just go to just relax. I don't have to worry about like curating the content in a particular way.